Welcome back to Talk Show, the show where we connect the dots so you don't have to, although this week the dots are looking a little bit less connecty and a little more conspiracy corkboard in a basement with pushpins and red string. Let's bake this potato. In our first segment, the SAVE Act, which I have been railing about, the SAVE Act has passed the House. So I've been making many a noise about this, and it's now about to arrive at your doorstep like a certified letter you didn't ask for. Prepare for voter roll purges, like you've never seen. Prepare for documentation requirements that honestly would make the DMV blush. So here's the thing. If your name has changed, right, so married women in particular, get your documents lined up right now. Right now. Passport, birth certificate, marriage certificate. Laminate these things if you have to. Sleep with them under your pillow. And I mean everyone. Everyone. Everyone double check your voter registration, because I'm sure that the blue states and Democratic voter rolls are not the ones that are being targeted in this. Because you know what they say, democracy works best when it's selectively accessible? Next up, because consistency, very optional right now, let's talk about the El Paso airspace whiplash, and not drumline whiplash. The airspace over El Paso, Texas was closed and then reopened mysteriously and just as quickly. The FAA initially stated that the military would shoot down any threatening aircraft under 18,000 feet on February 20th. Shoot it down, okay? That's not something you casually miscommunicate. That's not like a whoopsie doodle or oh boy, I forgot to CC someone. Definitely not. You don't flip-flop on missile policy. Seriously, what in Sam Hill's name are we getting on about? Our administration kind of looks like it's running American airspace off of a group chat stuck in airplane mode. So for our next little bit here, I just want to ask you, are you still not worried about AI? Please allow me to provide you with your regularly scheduled dose of existential dread. So this was floating around on Twitter/X in case you haven't seen it. According to a widely circulated breakdown from crypto analyst Miles Deutscher, hopefully I'm saying your last name right, here's just what happened this past week. The head of safety research at Anthropic quit, saying the world is in peril, and moved to the UK to write poetry. When the safety guy leaves to write poetry, that is not a hallmark pivot, that is a siren. Half of XAI's co-founders have now left. The latest warning us that recursive self-improvement goes live in the next 12 months. Recursive self-improvement, that's AI for it upgrades itself while you're asleep. Anthropic's own safety report, their own stuff, confirms that Claude can tell when it's being tested. And then it adjusts its behavior accordingly. Okay, so summary, it knows when it's being watched. If that doesn't make you a little uncomfortable, you may need to get your pulse checked. ByteDance then dropped Seed Dance 2.0. A filmmaker with 7 years of experience commented on this, saying that 90% of his skills can be replaced. It sounds like, oh boy, wow, that could be my foot in the door. But at the same time, it's like you're displacing real humans that do this work and need the job. What's the replacement job for the filmmaker with 7 years of experience? Grocery store clerk? Strawberry picker? And then the last one that I absolutely have to call out is that the godfather of AI, the literal godfather of AI, Yoshua Bengio, who hopefully, again, I hope I'm saying some of these names right. You'd think I would research that. I don't research anyone's name. This fabulous godfather of AI warned that the AIs behave differently when tested versus when deployed. Okay, so my comment before about Anthropic, this is not a glitch, it's a pattern. And then, just to put a cherry on that dystopian sundae for you folks, the U.S. declined to back the 2026 International AI Safety Report for the first time. The writing is on the wall, folks. Unfortunately, the writing is in cursive, which means Gen Z and Gen Alpha can't read it. In our next segment, a little bit of fun, underreported news for you. Underground Railroad discovery. That's right. Quiet but powerful news. A secret entrance to the Underground Railroad, the actual Underground Railroad, was discovered behind a Manhattan dresser, hidden for nearly 200 years. Pretty fascinating. Top comment online, shh, put those away. We might need those soon. It's dark humor, but, it lands because history doesn't disappear. It waits. And for our next bit, let's bring us all back to world news in a minute where we speedrun geopolitics so you don't have to. First up, Middle East, once again, the center of the global chessboard. U.S.-Iran tensions are escalating, and military planners are preparing for sustained operations if diplomacy collapses. Meanwhile, the Iranian diaspora communities are rallying abroad because in 2026, even protests have international distribution. Number 3, over in Europe, leaders gathered at the Munich Security Conference to talk NATO, to talk Ukraine, talk whether the global world order is a wobbling, or if it's just taking a nice aggressive stretch. U.S. officials insist America isn't backing away from any alliances. That's diplomatic speak for, we're still in the unsecured signal chat deciding on this. So Ukraine remains a pressure point. The Middle East continues to ripple outward, and alliances are recalculating in real time. I will just call out that the Winter Olympics still underway, lots of magnificent wintry, snowy, icy sports to enjoy. A friendly reminder that while governments are debating deterrence strategy, other humans are voluntarily hurtling themselves down ice tracks at 90 miles an hour. And that's just for national pride. Figure skating, elegant. Luge, death-defying. Geopolitics, slightly more chaotic. So in summary, no one has quite flipped the board in the world news in a minute here, but everyone's got their hand hovering over their preferred piece. Now, in our main story, let's talk about the AG Pam Bondi Epstein hearing clown show. In a series of moments that would probably make Jerry Springer blush, Pam Bondi turned the hearing into what looked like the Real Housewives of Washington, D.C. Up until the anti-Semitic comments directed at Representative Balint, who lost family in the Holocaust. What the actual heckin' F is going on here? Let's review the timeline, shall we, folks? Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of Florida from 2011 to 2019. Some interesting years, if you've forgotten. You don't slip into comments like that. So this whole bratty teenager act, the performative chaos, that's actual confidence, okay? They are so confident that they have 2026 and 2028 on lock. There's a reason that the old campaign resurfaced and has aged like milk. And here's what this whole spectacle actually reveals. The rich play by a different set of rules. And sometimes they don't even pretend otherwise anymore. Have we forgotten that? Because they certainly have not. So in closing, thanks for coming and joining for another episode. Democracy is tightening, airspace is flip-flopping, AI is self-improving, history surfacing, and elites protecting elites. It's a shame. The dots are not random. Again, they're just written in cursive, and we're still just trying to learn how to read. See you next week.